It's a battle of 7-seater electric MPVs today on Car and Bike. The Kia Carens Clavis EV has been around for approximately a year, while the Vinfast MPV 7 has recently entered our market. Now this one has come in a single fully loaded variant which is very similarly priced to the top variant of the Clavis EV. So if you're in the market to buy a green and clean MPV for you and your family, should one of these two be your final choice? Well, that's a question we're trying to answer right here on Car and Bike. My name is Shams, and if you still haven't subscribed to our channel till now, please do it right now. Also, don't forget to press the bell icon so that we can meet more often and get you all the latest content from the Indian auto industry. These are the times when, due to many reasons, many buyers are looking to go electric. And if the purchase is for the family, an obvious decision is to go for an MPV. These two cars are trying to fill that space by offering space, comfort, features, and yes, lots of range. But which one is a better buy? Let's find out. Now, size is really important in the MPV segment, and here clearly it is the VF MPV 7 that takes the lead. Because you talk about length, you talk about width, you talk about height, and you talk about the wheelbase. Everything is bigger when compared to the Carens Clavis EV. In fact, even the wheel size is much bigger. Here you get 19-inch wheels. On the Clavis, you get 17-inch wheels. Importantly, you have a request sensor even on the passenger side, something you will not find on the Kia. But one more crucial thing is ground clearance, and here the Clavis actually beats the MPV 7. But you come towards the face, and you see on both these MPVs, you get these signature traits. So you have these star map LED DRLs on the Kia Carens EV, which is a signature trait of a lot of cars from the brand, and the V-shaped DRLs on the Vinfast, which you've seen earlier on the VF6 and VF7 as well. Both are likable designs, but if you ask me, I think I like the MPV 7 a little more. It looks a little more modern and flamboyant in terms of the way it presents itself. The Clavis EV, on the other hand, has a busier face when compared to the VF7. It gets these active air flaps which open when more air is required, something that's missing on the MPV 7. And you also have the charging port on the face. On the MPV 7, it's on the fender on the driver's side. The design elements on the rear though impress more on the Clavis than they do on the MPV 7. The tailgate looks just a little more edgy, and the skid plates finished in silver are more likable as well. Now here in the first row, clearly you get more features in the Clavis EV when compared to the MPV 7. You get a twin screen setup here. The MPV 7 does not get a digital cluster, it only gets a smaller 10-inch touchscreen. Other features that you'll see only here are electric driver's seat, front ventilated seats, a wireless charger, and also a big panoramic sunroof. There's also a well-performing Bose sound system in the top variant, which you've seen on many other cars from Hyundai Kia as well. And also a lot of buttons, both physical as well as digital, apart from the main touchscreen unit, which also adds in ergonomics as well as practicality. There are multiple variants and interior trims to choose from, like the Tech line, GT line, and the flagship X line. So the Clavis gives the buyers a lot more flexibility in terms of looks and features. In the MPV 7, most features are accessed only through the central touchscreen, which doesn't feel appropriate looking at the size of the cabin. I do feel physical buttons should be provided for some key features like ORVM adjustment and door lock unlock, but that's not the case here. You get wired Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, while the cabin gets just 4 speakers. However, lack of features is somewhat made up by more storage options, as you will find many places to keep small articles safely. But the car has come to India only in a single fully loaded variant, so no options here. What I like about the second row in the MPV 7 is that it gives you a lot of space. Now this driver's seat is right now adjusted for my driving position, and this is the kind of leg room and knee room I'm getting here. Quite impressed. Absolutely flat floor. I don't think making 3 people sit here would cause any discomfort to anyone, even though these AC vents slightly come out, but it's not something that really bother you. I also like the performance of the air conditioner in this car. It is very hot right now, but even the rear AC vents are doing quite well. But the best part about being here are these seats. Now they are big, I have good thigh support, the angle is nice, and they are extremely soft and comfortable. So if you're planning a long journey in the MPV 7, these seats will really come in handy. More width of the MPV 7 clearly shows here, as 3 people can sit more comfortably on the second row. The bench seat also slides in a 60-40 split, but strangely what's missing is a center armrest. And if you want captain seats, a boss mode, seat back table, vehicle to load capability or even window curtains, you will need to look at the Clavis EV. The last row becomes extremely crucial then, and let's head to the Clavis first.
Now access to the last row is quite easy because of this standard one touch tumble down feature in the Clavis EV. No effort at all is required. Just get inside the car and sit here. Pull it back and the seat comes back to its original position. And it's not very generous in terms of space, but you have things like adjustable headrests, your own AC vents mounted on the roof, C-type charging ports as well as cup holders that make things a little more ergonomic.
Is the last row in the Vinfast any better?
Longer car, longer wheelbase. Does it mean more third row space? Let's find out. Tumble down the seat. Get in there. Well, the seat is a little higher up, more than what I had expected. This feels quite decent looking at the fact that I'm 6 feet tall. I have my personal cup holders, armrests as well. Maybe the seat could be a little bigger for better thigh support, but I have my AC vents placed at the right spot.
In both the cars, second row seats can slide as well as recline to liberate more space in the third row, but the longer MPV 7 clearly feels more spacious overall.
With all three rows being used, which one gives you better boot space? Let me quickly tell you. So on the Clavis EV, the claim number is 216 liters, and that's decent looking at the fact that all three rows are being used and this car isn't very long, at least not as long as the MPV 7. Boot space on the MPV 7 with all three rows being used is around 126 liters, but it gets much better if you decide to fold the third row of seats. And this is 50-50 split. Once you do that, with both the seats, you get a space of more than 600 liters. No spare wheel on the MPV 7. Instead, what you get is a puncture repair kit. This is an inflator here. The Clavis EV does give you a spare wheel. If you're looking for a frunk in both these MPVs, well, the MPV 7 does not get it. The Clavis EV also gets a very small frunk. It's not very big. So the size is 25 liters and probably you can just about fit your portable charger here in this box and nothing else. The good thing is that it comes with a cover, so keeps your charger protected.
It's time to hit the roads with both these three-row electric MPVs, and I chose to begin with Vinfast as it comes with a bigger battery pack and more power.
You know what I like about the driving position of this 7-seater Vinfast? It doesn't really give me an impression that I'm driving a conventional MPV. The driving position is a little more sporty than what you associate with MPVs typically. So I'm more sort of cocooned and surrounded by this car, and which is not something you experience in many MPVs. I also like the view that I get from the driver's seat of this car. It's quite nice and it's a tall car as well. So it's not just the front, even the back I'm getting clear view, despite the fact that the middle row and the middle seat also gets a adjustable headrest, something that's missing on the Kia Carens Clavis EV. I want to compare the MPV 7 to the Kia Carens Clavis EV. You get a considerably bigger battery pack here. Now on the Clavis EV, it's a 51.4 kilowatt hour unit, the longer range battery pack. Here you get a 60 kilowatt hour battery pack, and this is LFP and that is NMC. And that translates into more power and more torque when compared to the Clavis. Of course, we'll come to the range in a bit, but you are crossing 200 bhp on this car.
And you're getting close to 300 Newton meters, which is roughly 30 bhp and 30 Nm more when compared to the Kia Carens Clavis EV.
That makes a difference. Of course, in an EV, you get all the torque from the word go, so acceleration is quite fast here. And that will be the case with the Carens Clavis EV also, but the additional power helps, and that helps in faster acceleration.
The Clavis EV on the other hand comes with two battery pack options. Smaller one is a 42 kilowatt hour unit which makes around 133 bhp and 255 Nm, but the one we are driving is the 51.4 kilowatt hour model called the extended range.
In terms of numbers, it gives you around 170 bhp and 255 Nm, and that is quite decent, which means the car is able to carry the weight of the occupants quite well. You don't really feel that it is getting underpowered, even if a lot of people are sitting inside this MPV. Here too, the visibility is quite nice, both on the front as well as on the rear, so that missing headrest in the second row in the centers comes as a blessing in disguise, and you get a clearer view on the back as well. Acceleration is quick, and what I also like is that the NVH levels are kept in check. So there's no road noise, there's no tire noise, and there's no exterior vehicle noise as well.
So that's performance and ergonomics, but can anything matter more than range on an EV?
Smaller battery pack when compared to the MPV 7, which means you won't really get the same amount of range as you get in the Vinfast. So the claim number here is 490 kilometers, but in the real world, we've been able to achieve around 350 kilometers, and this is peak summer here in the north. It could go up even more as the weather gets better. So around 7 kilometers per kilowatt is what you can easily achieve in your everyday driving with the AC on at all times. Just to give you an idea, right now I have around 70% battery remaining and the car is good to go for another 250 kilometers. You also have different drive modes and region modes, so depending on the requirements and the distance to be covered, you can choose between them. The good thing is that you have physical controls for them. So on the steering wheel I have my drive mode buttons, and behind the wheel I have paddle shifts to change between region modes.
So what are the kind of numbers we got while driving the MPV 7, looking at the fact that it has a bigger battery unit?
Now, owing to the bigger battery pack, this car is bound to give you higher range when fully charged. So while the claimed number crosses 500 kilometers, 520 to be precise, even in the real world, you will get close to 400 kilometers. That's a very good number. That means you can go through the week without charging this car twice. So that is something that will help in peace of mind. Now, just to give you an idea, right now I am left with 62% state of charge. The car is saying it's good to go for another 280 kilometers. Now that is directly translating into a range of approximately 400 kilometers. And this is peak summer here in Delhi. It has been very hot. Temperatures are nearing 50 degrees. So the temperatures get better. The range will go up even more on this car. You also get your driving modes, Eco, Normal, Sport. You get region braking levels from none to low to mid to high. Now the only catch here is that because a lot of controls are done through the touchscreen system, you have to do even the region modes and drive modes through the touchscreen, which some of you may not like because on the Clavis EV it's much more convenient. It is right there in front of you on the steering wheel in the form of buttons as well as paddle shifters.
LFP units are also considered to have better durability and stability when compared to NMC units. So in this respect, the MPV 7 has an edge over the Clavis EV. But charging is also key, and here Kia takes the lead. AC charging first, and maximum speed on the MPV 7 is 6.9 kilowatt, while Kia does it much faster with 11 kilowatt, ensuring 10 to 100% charge in around 4 hours and 45 minutes on the bigger battery pack. At 100 kilowatt, DC fast charge speed is also better on the Clavis, while Vinfast peaks at 80 kilowatt. The latter takes 30 minutes to go from 10 to 70%, while Kia does 10 to 80% in 39 minutes. But remember, MPV 7 has a bigger battery here.
Now when we speak about EVs, we always speak about ride quality and how stiff it gets. Now thankfully the VF7 isn't so punishing to you. It is rather comfortable. I've liked the experience on this car. Spend most of time here in the first row only, but even on the second row you get a comfortable ride, and that sort of comes as a surprise looking at the fact that this is a hardcore electric vehicle. If you're looking to buy this car for your family, the second row seats are not just comfortable and spacious, even the ride is quite nice. Now MPVs cannot really be devoid of body roll, and that is something that is evident on this one as well. So you really can't have a very sporty drive with this one, but yes, things are largely under control as long as you don't get too adventurous with an MPV.
The Clavis EV feels more conventional when it comes to dynamics, both as an MPV and also as an electric vehicle.
Now in this MPV, Kia has tried to give you a good balance of ride as well as handling. So yes, this is an MPV and there will be some body roll, but it doesn't get out of control really. And that's the case with ride quality as well. Depending on the surface, the car is able to adapt quite well, an experience you don't have a problem with. The smaller 17-inch wheels also help in that regard, and I think they're more suited to our Indian road conditions. Safety is very critical, and this one is definitely a safer set of wheels because you get more number of standard safety features, you get more airbags, you get a 360 view camera, and you get a whole lot of level 2 ADAS functions as well that make your drive a lot more safer in the Kia Carens Clavis EV. The blind spot monitor has been my absolute favorite, with camera inputs coming on your cluster from both left and right. It really makes changing lanes safer in the city traffic.
In all, the Clavis gets 20 autonomous features and the intrusion levels are also set right. 18 safety features are standard, which means even the base variant is quite loaded. Both cars get disc brakes on all the wheels, electronic parking brake and TPMS, while the Clavis also gets front parking sensors. Now let's look at the prices. The Clavis EV has a long list of variants with prices starting from 18 lakh rupees, and if you pay separately for the battery, that price comes down to under 13 lakh rupees ex showroom. This top trim is priced at 24.5 lakh rupees, which is similar to the price of the MPV 7. And before we end, warranties. Standard warranty on the Clavis EV is 3 years along with 3 years RSA, while battery warranty is 8 years or 1.6 lakh kilometers. Everything on the Vinfast is much better, with the brand offering 7 years of warranty and RSA on the vehicle, while battery has a 10-year warranty. The brand is also luring customers with free charging till March 2029 and 75% assured buyback on the MPV after 2 years.
Well, if you want better space and practicality, a more spirited drive and a longer range, the Vinfast MPV 7 races ahead. But when you talk about more features in the cabin, more premium feel and yes, better safety, it is the Kia Carens Clavis EV. The fact that both these cars are very similarly priced makes things a little more complex. But if you look at things purely as an EV, the Vinfast MPV 7 makes more sense. But if you look at it as a family MPV, the Carens Clavis EV takes the honors. Well, that's our sense of both these 3-row MPVs. You let us know in the comments below which one makes more sense. If you're in the market to buy a 3-row electric MPV, which one of these two will you choose? Or will you choose a third option? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching.